Welcome everyone! Today we'll be taking a look at how we can easily implement a full screen button inside our phaser editor games. So see an example of what we'll be building is we'll be adding a full screen button prefab to our project where when we click on that button instance, our game will launch into full screen and then we'll toggle our texture. And if you want to shrink the game back down and stop full screen, click the button again and now our game is updated. So if you'd like to follow along, go ahead and open up phaser editor now and we'll get started. So to create your full screen button for your phaser editor game, you need to decide on what type of game object that you like to use to represent your button. In this example, I'll be using a sprite sheet. So it's going to have two different frames for one's when the game's already full screen and one is when you want to make the game full screen. And so you could use any game object you want. As long as you can click on it, you'll be able to make your game full screen. So in this example, I'm going to add a new asset to this starting project. And so I'm going to add this full screen PNG file here. And so there'll be a link to this asset in the description of this video if you'd like to follow along. And so I'm going to import this as a sprite sheet. So I need to update a configuration so it has the right sizes. So I'm going to open up the asset pack real quick. I'm going to change this to 64. And I will save and I'll come back to our level scene. So now for our button, I'm going to go ahead and create a prefab instance. So under my source folder, I'm just going to do new. I'm going to do prefab. And I'm going to call this full screen button prefab. So in this prefab, I'm going to drag over an instance of my full screen button. I'm going to update the position to be 0, 0, and then that way when we place it in our scene, we can modify and override that value. So now for our game object, we need to make it interactive, and so we'll want to set the hit area for our game object. In this example, I'll be using a rectangle, so it uses the full width and height of the image that I added to my scene. And then you could change this to match whichever game object you're using. All right, so now that our game object is interactive, let's open up our full screen button prefab.js file. All right, so for our full screen button, we need to actually listen for our events when the player clicks on it. And we don't want to listen for pointer down, we have to listen for pointer up, otherwise the browser can reject the request when we try to start full screen. So this is very important that we listen for the correct event. Once we listen for that event, then we can use the phaser methods for starting full screen and for stopping it when the player clicks on it a second time. So to add this logic inside our constructor and the spot where we can actually add additional code, let's first listen for our event. So we'll do this, we'll do on to listen to our event emitter for our game object. Now we want to reference phaser, we're going to do input, we'll do events, we're going to do pointer up. And now we can register our callback to be invoked. So when this is called, we want to first check to see if the game is already full screen. So we're going to do if this scene.scale.is full screen, then we want to go ahead and stop running our full screen. So we'll do this scene.scale.stop full screen, and we'll return. If it's not already full screen, then we want to go ahead and start it. So I'm just going to copy this line of code here. We'll paste it here and we'll do start full screen. So now if we actually want to test our code, let's jump over to our level scene. Let's drag over an instance of our prefab into our scene. And I'm just going to position our game object here in the top corner about here. We'll do save. And if we launch our game into our browser, so if we click on our button, our game should now launch into full screen. And if we click our button again, it now shrinks back down to the regular size. All right, so one last change we're gonna make for our button is we're just gonna update our button's frame to reflect the state of our actual button. So currently it uses the same frame for both of these. So I'm gonna jump back to the project real quick. So back in our prefab.js file, we just wanna update our frame. So with our current texture that I'm using, we have two frames. So frame 0 will be using for making the game full screen, and frame 1 will be for stopping full screen. So with that, we can just call this logic here. So we're going to do this to reference our game object. We're going to do set frame to update our frame because it's on the same texture. And we'll use frame 1 when we start full screen, so we toggle it. And when we do stop full screen, we'll set this to 0. So if we save and come back to our browser, when we click, now our button is being updated. One last tweak we're going to make is when we create an instance of our game, if our game was already in full screen, we might want to update our frame when it starts. And so we're just going to do that real quick. So we're just going to add logic to check to see if we're already in full screen. So for already full screen, we'll want to show the appropriate frame. So we'll do frame 1, and we'll do else, and then we'll show frame 0. And then that way, if our code ever runs and we're already in full screen, we'll have the appropriate frame for our button. And that's it. Just with that little bit of code added to your prefab, you now have this full screen button that you can use in any of your projects. All right, so those last code changes, that actually wraps up our full screen button. And so with this example here, you could easily extend this and create reusable script nodes to have this functionality, and you could do much more. If you do end up extending this example here, I'd definitely love to see it, so please let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have other questions, ideas, or topics you'd like to see covered with the Phaser editor or Phaser 3, please let me know. Alright, with that, that brings this video to an end. So as a reminder, there is a link in the description of the video to the complete source code for this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking the video and hitting the bell icon to be notified when the next video is released. For more great Phaser 3 content, please follow the links on your screen now.